What's up guys, and welcome to yet another episode of the Snatched Summer Series. If you guys are new to either my channel or my series or both, feel free to subscribe to my channel so you guys can keep up with us on our journey as we journey together to reach our goals. For today's episode, I really want to talk to you guys about the importance of stretching before and after a workout, how they can affect your muscles, and at the very end of the video, I'll go over my measurements for you guys so you can see how I either am or am not progressing. So there are a few different types of stretching. There's dynamic, there's static, ballistic, and PNF stretching. But for today's video, I'll be focusing more on the dynamic and the static stretching. So dynamic stretching tends to be used before your workout because it kind of helps to lubricate your joints, and since your muscles aren't exactly warmed up, you want to get them warmed up before you do static stretching, since that's more of like a hold. And dynamic stretching is kind of like performing a movement, whether it's abductions or like the glute activations. Those are kind of something similar to that. It's kind of a way of being able to lubricate the joints and helping you increase your range of motion without causing any injury prior to your workout, and it'll help avoid any injuries during your workout. So not only does it help lubricate your joints, but it also helps to kind of prep your muscles and your joints for whatever workout you're gonna put it through, especially if you're gonna be working out like high intensity, or if you're going to be doing more explosive movements that could damage your joints, and that could be very helpful to do dynamic warm-ups before your workout. Static stretching is typically used during like your cool down. You'll use that's where you're actually holding a muscle, and you'll do that for like 30 seconds or so, just depending. And that's typically after your workout. Once your muscles are already warmed up, then that's when you would want to stretch them out, because you've just created so much tension in your muscles that you want to stretch them out and help them relax. You could also use it doesn't have to just be after your workout, but you could also use that in between your sets. So if you're feeling a little tense, you can do a little hold, stretch and hold, and just keep it there, and then you can resume back to your workout. I honestly used to rarely do any stretching after my cool down. I started more last year to do a warm-up. Of course, like I've known this for a while, but it's just the lazy part of me that doesn't want to start my workout with a warm-up. I'd rather just kind of like go in, start with some light reps or whatever, and then like build up the weight. But I know that it's important to warm up, so I started incorporating that last year, and then also this year I've still been continuing to warm up, but this year I added in the cool down stretching. Ever since I started incorporating both warm-ups and cool downs, I feel like I've been able to get a little bit more flexible. I can't do the splits, like I'm not that flexible, but I can definitely feel a difference. And even if you're when I'm doing like squats or something that requires more range of motion, I have been able to see improvements in my range of motion, which is really helpful with also muscle growth. So not only can static and dynamic stretching help you with your range of motion, but it could also help you with your posture and prevent any injuries during your workouts. It could also help your muscles recover from a workout, and it could even help reduce low back pain or any other pains that you may be having, because the tension that's acting on that area is kind of released. Stretching can also be helpful for growing your muscles without having any negative impacts on your strength. So before I go through my measurements and kind of update you guys as to how that's going, I'm just gonna throw this out here because I know that it's a concept that's important, and I learned it from my boyfriend, and it kind of just stuck, and it's the best way that I found to explain why stretching is so important. And my boyfriend basically compares your muscles to a rubber band. When the rubber band is nice and warm, you can stretch it out. You can stretch it out, you can play with it, and more than likely it's not gonna break. But if the rubber band, if you freeze it, it's more likely to, or if it's cold, you freeze it, whatever, it's more likely to break when you start trying to do that than if it's warm. And that's kind of how your muscles work. If your muscles are not stretched or warmed up, then they're more likely to tear or cause some sort of injury than if you would have warmed it up prior to your exercise and then stretched it afterwards. Because then during your workouts, your muscles will tend to tense up. They're contracting while you're working out, and so as they tense up, you need to relieve that tension, and stretching will help you do that, and it'll help relax the muscle, and you would be able to continue to perform in other exercises on another day because your muscles aren't staying like tense. So just make sure that you guys are warming up prior to your workouts and stretching after your workout so that you guys can actually reap the benefits of stretching. Alrighty guys, let's see how my body has or hasn't been progressing since we started this whole series. I personally feel like it has been. It's not like a huge notable difference, but it's changing, it's improving. So my current measurements for my bust are 31 inches. I'm very excited because that has gone down. My waist has gone down like half an inch from the 29 inches. It's currently at 28.5 inches, which is still progress, and I'll still take it because it's not like it's just staying stagnant. Otherwise, my feelings would have been hurt. Yeah. And my butt is actually at 39 point it's like 39 3/4. It's almost 40 inches, not yet. So I lost a little bit because I was originally, when I started, at like 40 inches, but it's conserving pretty well. I know, like, before I made it working my glutes and emphasis, I think my butt was like at 36 inches. So it's progress, and I'm gonna take it, and I hope that I can just keep my butt as much as possible because I don't want to lose what I feel like I've gained. As for my weight, I woke up this morning at 146.4, so my weight is going down, but again, my focus is not so much on the scale. I don't want to pay attention too much to what the scale says the number is, because that could be so many things. I could be losing my muscle and keeping the same amount of fat, or I can be losing fat and gaining muscle, or neither one of the two, you know. So pretty much I just try not to focus too much on what the scale says because it can just vary so much. And even though the progress is slow, it's still progress. So if you guys are feeling like the progress is being really slow for you guys, or you guys aren't seeing any progress, that's where taking those measurements and even taking progress photos would really help, because sometimes you can't physically see it. But when you have different pictures, then you can compare the differences, because I guarantee that if you're doing everything right, you will see change. And right now I'm really trying to put an emphasis on my nutrition and my workouts and my stretching and everything so that I can reap the benefits of those efforts. Thank you guys so much for joining me on yet another episode of the Snatched Summer Series. We're literally already at the end of week 4, and if you guys have been working hard, congratulations, because you guys made it to another week and you got through it. And if you guys haven't started, it's never too late for you guys to start if you guys want to start and work on yourselves on whatever goal that is, whether it's losing, maintaining, or gaining. If you guys have a goal, let's reach it by the end of the series. Time is gonna keep on passing you by, so you might as well just keep grinding, stay consistent, do what you gotta do, but get it done. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys aren't following me on my Instagram, feel free to follow me at Brandita_143. And I will catch you guys on the next episode for the Snatched Summer Series.